All right. Finally get together. Wanted to talk. What's up?
Hey, well, just wanted to go over a couple of things with you. That's why we scheduled this meeting so we could launch this podcast I've been trying to talk to you about.
No, I'm not doing a podcast,
Why not? You got the perfect face for radio.
right?
You've always did.
Yeah,
So that means you got a good voice,
right.
as I'm saying all this stuff that you're accustomed to. That's my point. You're accustomed to doing this, and why not? I mean, um, you know how we met,
Yeah, yeah.
and if you consider our previous environment, if anybody doesn't know, you and I did time together,
Yeah.
and I did 15, you did your 17, and honestly, my just going back, before I justify what we're doing today, the whole thing is our experience combined together. What is that? 32 years of experience here, right, between us. You're the only one that I've known practically my whole bit. And of course, that's going back to the prison lingo. But I don't think that you're a pretty refined individual now, educated, degreed. But you got this street cred about you. There's these, based on our prison experience, true crimes is a hashtag that's really, really popular. You and I are doing significant things to improve our lives. And not only that, improve the lives of everyone else around us by influencing what we do and what we share. And you're in the educative route, I'm in entertainment, but I want to help people get to where I'm at because if I can do it, that saying, anyone else can do it. But I think it takes a little bit of focus and dedication. And there's a bunch of pitfalls that I want to share along the way. Now, being that you're a former radio talk show host, nationally syndicated,
No,
I,
stop.
I think you're no, come on, stop being you. I need
Oh,
you to
look,
be the
the,
the, the real deal. You're not going to get in trouble this time, okay?
I don't work with partners. And here's the deal. I really don't. When I first started in broadcasting and in radio doing talk, one, I'm not the same guy that everybody thinks about now. The Savage Nation that didn't exist. I'm a podunk guy doing stuff in Napa, right? Well, they bring me in as a program director, and I ended up doing this talk show with this lady, right? And she left after about 3 days. Okay, she was just couldn't deal with me. And okay, all right, I respect that. And then from then on, any partner that they tried to partner me with, the longest partner that I had was like 3 weeks because I like to do things a certain way. I don't like to cut corners. I want it to sound right, all this kind of thing. And people were just wanting to fly by the seat of their pants. That's not me. That's not how I do things. That's never how I've done things. So I don't work well with partners. The only partner that I did anything with was a small podcast I did with my wife. And that ended because of COVID. She's in the medical field. And so COVID and been really busy and we just never started it again. So she's the only one. And believe me, I was on my best behavior the entire time because I like being married to her. But I just don't work well with partners. I'm just letting you know. I am grumpy. If I don't want to do something, I don't do it. All of those things. So I'm just telling you, uh, the the egos aside, just the facts of life that I would be no good as somebody's partner in a podcast.
All right, so here's my pushback on that. BS, okay, because I know you. Okay. What I'm saying, put that BS aside because of the fact the whole prison experience is what brought us together. And that's the bond. So I got to know you through eating, hanging out, fellowship, uh, just everything you can do to be around somebody's space. And there was a time, I think I want to bring this up. And again, this is organic, guys. This whole how we're going to set up this podcast. But I wanted to tell you, Mike, I know your character. I've seen you 24/7 for umpteen years during my 15-year bit. I think I was around you at least 12 years of my 15-year sentence. So that's how long I've known you. Going through the process, I mean, there were times you bailed me out of a bunch of stuff, right? Remember? We said we were going to talk about that. But the thing is, it's your character. I know you. And that's why I know you're perfect for this. Okay. That's what I have to say about that. But another time when we're talking about character and stuff, I'd like to know from your perspective why I think I'm, this cool dude, because you had once told me that you saw that I would go back and I'd be back before you got out. So you got out 2 years after I did. So you thought you were going to see me back in, and surprisingly, we did see people come back that we didn't expect to come back. But guess what, Mike? I'm still here, and so are you.
No, I get it. I get it. The reason I said that was because you were doing exactly the wrong things towards the end of your bit, smuggling stuff into guys. You're on this cruise doing all this kind of stuff. And that's why I'm telling you, hey, dude, I'll see you again. I'll see you again before I get out. Now,
that's why I always thought I was this slick, cool dude. In fact, the judge, when he sentenced me, thought I was a slick guy. He said, I think you see yourself as somebody slick, can get away with stuff, but not this time. Boom.
Okay, so I don't want to talk about true crime. I don't want to talk about making difference in people's lives or any of that kind of stuff. And here's why.
Okay.
Everybody's doing that. Okay, and I don't have any problems with people who, they find Jesus and okay, now we're gonna. Okay, I don't. That's their thing. I get it. But it's not my thing. When I left there, I left there. When I stopped being in crime, I stopped being in crime. I don't talk to the guys. I nothing the entire time. So it's a dead part of my life. It's something that I don't like to talk about. And if I am doing anything good for somebody, why am I going to go on a podcast and say anything about it? Then I'm not really doing them any good. I'm doing it to make me feel good. That's the problem that I have. That's the deal. So that's why I don't want to do it.
Okay, so here's my take on that. Correct, everyone's doing this, but I feel that we have something unique here. We got our own stories, we have our own content. We're talking about our own stuff. We're not doing a bunch of research. The thing is, I just got to get you to agree to do this, and you're perfectly suited for this. What do you mean you don't like dealing with people? The thing is, you're a counselor pastor. You're degreed in that. Got doctorate degrees.
Whoa, stop. One, I'm not a pastor. Right?
No, but you're doing these things.
I am not a pastor. I don't want to come across.
Come on.
No, I'm serious.
People always called you Brother Mike.
I know, and it drove me crazy.
That's something you can't shake off of you from the chapel days.
Dude, listen to me. I'm not a pastor. I've met a bunch of pastors. I'm not a pastor. All right.
Okay, maybe not.
Now, what do? Yeah, I'm a college professor and I do counseling for students and pastoral counseling, but I'm not a pastor per se. Okay, I don't pastor a church. I'm not part of the church organization hierarchy. I do it from schools. All right, and that's my thing. All right, so I don't preach anymore, but I do teach and I do counsel, and that's it. And nobody's going to want to hear about that. I'm not going to tell who I counsel.
And we're not here for that stuff. Guess what? Your experience allows you to speak to the people, and that's what we're going to do. That's all we're going to do. You're just going to be you. I'm not asking you to do anything else but be yourself. You got this. You can do it.
I'm not afraid. Believe me.
No, you're not. You just get off your duff, and you got something to say. Okay, you got something to say, and I think it's relevant. So your experience, my experience, and what I'm doing. You need to share.
You're going to find out.
Again, it's our own content.
You're going to find out this is a bad idea if we do this. You're going to find out. It's a really good idea to work with me.
I'm prepared to work through it. Okay, I don't give up.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll see.
I don't give up. In fact, anybody can look at my posts on social media. Don't give up.
No.
I know. I'm persistent.
Oh,
I'm tenacious. I've been told all kinds of stuff because people reach a point where they don't want to have a breakthrough or get past through the mundane of being in their comfort zone. I get it.
All
But
right.
you're the guy. You got the job, Mike.
No,
Okay. Let's just do this.
the deal is no shortcuts at all. No,
No.
no.
I don't fold in half for no one. I know what you're saying.
The other thing here is that the only reason I'm going to agree to try this with you is because of something you said that really triggered. You do not give up. All right. And look, you and I have been in communication a bit for the last few years, and you do not give up. You push, and I admire that about you. Where I would have said, hey, screw it, I'm not doing this. I don't need you guys. You're trying to work in the system and at the same time be outside the system, and you've kept at it when you got slapped down a few times, and I mean hard. And it was like he'll what's he going to do now? But you got back up, So yeah, okay, we'll try it. And if if it comes true, I don't think we're going to make it past 3 episodes because you're going to find I'm a tough guy to work for.
I understand. But here's the thing. You came up with this brilliant idea. And let me just tell the people how that came about.
No, not yet. No, not yet. Not yet.
So this is just the precursor to that. You won't have to be on camera.
Dude, it's a deal breaker.
It's
okay. No, it's a deal breaker. It's a good idea. Don't get me wrong. But no, it's a deal breaker. We're going to try this. We'll see where it goes from here. But I'm pretty sure you're going to find out I'm pretty tough to deal with, okay? And remember, I told you this. I see you're recording this. That's fine. But in this case, you will see how difficult I am to work with because I'm really a no.
Wait a minute, buddy.
You're going to
back up here. Again, 12 years of my 15-year sentence. Some of it was good time. Thank God I still maintain my good time hanging out with you and working with you in the chapel. So again, I know your character. I know you can do this.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't persist, Mike.
How many times did you go to the hole?
Never. You did, though.
A bunch.
Yeah, you did.
For nothing. I didn't do anything. They cleared me on all of them. So that's what being a nice guy does sometimes.
Wait. I did go to the hole one time, but that was for an investigation that I had nothing to. I was just a witness to somebody getting hit with a mop ringer on the head. So
yeah, that was
it.
That happens. Yeah. What are you gonna do? All right, so that's it. I'm done. I gotta move on. You will talk.
Can we go over what we want to discuss if we do this? The podcast, the parameters.
I don't want to. What do you want to discuss?
Can we formulate the show right now so we can tell the people why or what subject matter, why we're going to do this? You ready? I mean,
tell me.
You know what? Be the commensurate interviewer that you were before.
Oh.
I'm sure you interviewed people.
Yeah.
Working for CBS. Come on.
I interviewed some people. All right. So what do you
At
want?
At least this time you don't have to wear a tie.
If we're going to work together, quit talking. Quit talking for a second. My God. All right. So what do you want to talk about? Because I know that's what we're going to talk about.
Well, the show.
Yeah.
The basis for the podcast.
Right.
The things I want to cover on these episodes as they come up. Are we okay with the name, the Novaturient Mindset? Kind of a positive, motivational take on whatever we discuss. My tenacious attitude about not giving up somehow has to be motivational. And okay, look, let me wrap it, the motivational part with these things that are inside this package.
Yeah.
The mindset will be for motivation, success. About, I know you didn't want to talk about these things, but to me, this is near and dear to me, redemption. But specifically, knowing how all these big gurus that pitch the Fortune 500 companies talk about time being valuable, time being an asset. But I stumbled upon this main thing, learning how to redeem the time. How do you buy back time that you've lost? Both you and I lost time, depending how you look at it, depending how the world perceives us, right? ex-criminals, blah, blah, blah. You were down for all these words about doing prison have to do around time, doing time, hard timing it, all these things about it. And I love time. I have a lot of posts about, that have images of clocks. For something about this, I love time, but there's a concept I think, again, no one's doing is learning how we redeem the time. And that's part of redemption, by buying back, doing something different, using our experience to catapult us forward into success and contributing to the world around us, the community. So those are the things, the aspects I want to talk about is what you can do to feel good about yourself, be successful, the health and wellness type thing, attitude. But we're not going to do any crazy diets or any crazy stuff. We're not talking about real life. And you've written a couple of books about this stuff, So I want to discuss these experiences on learning how to roll back the time and doing positive stuff, taking the negative like a Polaroid and turning it into positive, a nice picture when it develops. Also, I want to cover the true crimes aspect of who we were, not who we are, but who we were that got us to where we are today. It's a popular hashtag going all across social media. In fact, you had a podcast pretty much like we're going to do, but this was for the Innocence Project, where a guy was exonerated after supposedly murdering somebody, well, his girlfriend. And so they did a podcast series about it, and it covered new evidence. They took it to the New York DA's office, and he got exonerated. So this whole hashtag about true crime stories is blowing up. NBC's got their TV show, and they're using the hashtag. So true crimes aspect, but with that part of the stuff, it's like to share our background, what got us here, but what makes us different. So we're going to talk about the negative stuff. I would like to, especially about me, because I people that know me can't figure how in the hell did I come up with this great idea to write a good movie. How did I get here? So I want to discuss the true crimes. I want to discuss the movie. I want to discuss, as this podcast goes on, the behind the scenes stuff that's going on with the movie, and to give some insight into Hollywood, what I'm learning. Also, I want to talk about, well, again, we have our own content, we become our own influencers, but I want to do it for the right reasons, talk to the people for the right reasons, about how to transition and improve their lives by using us as an example. This is the part I really want to discuss, and I think
good. Let's get to the point.
your counseling capabilities, we'll say. I didn't realize. I want to talk about an aspect of what is being called. In fact, there's a TV show called Unprisoned, Unprisoned. What life was like after doing so much time, getting out and finding out. I was in denial for a long time that I wasn't institutionalized, but I was. How can you do so much time like we did and not be affected by it, right? Have some hangups, imagine this, Mike, missing certain aspects of doing time. I love Fridays when we had to get ready for dorm inspection, win first place, get free popcorn and soda. And then you and I was the TV monitor where I came up with the TV schedule. And guess what I did for us, for you and me? I put our favorite show on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Ghost Hunters, right?
Yep.
So, all this stuff to keep the natives restless from being restless,
No,
all these programs.
Yeah,
but
you do good.
Things I missed are the camaraderie, the bond that we have, and the things that we go through together. And, so I want to talk about those times, the prison stories, the true crimes aspect of it. But then again, the unprisoned part. How do we acclimate after doing so much time? And people ought to know that the feds have a program. When you've been down for a long time, you get 2 years out the door, you get a furlough. You get to escape, get out. Not technically escape, but I shouldn't even say that word. But
Furloughs were
escape the mentality and mindset you've been in, washed up in, and you only got 2 years to do it, and you only get 2 or 3 furloughs depending on that time frame.
yeah.
So I want to talk about these things. Also, let me see here. I took notes on this. That's about it. The unprisoned part, the true crime story, the motivational stuff. I want people to know what gets me up and motivated when I look at a motivational post. I use a lot of memes. I post to my social media, but they inspire me, and I want to be able to show that post that I put and explain what it means to me, and open up the podcast that way.
I
The
don't know.
motivational part.
I don't know.
And I don't know how we're going to tie in all these other subject matters, but I think it'll work. Again, it's our own content. No one else is doing this. No, anybody that's an influencer is talking about somebody else's stuff.
Yeah, okay. Hang on for a second. Let me explain to you my take on social media. All right. It's a joke. It's all a joke. It's just BS, total nonsense. I don't believe anything on it. Zero. Okay. It's just I don't. So if somebody's trying to pump me up with a meme, dude, it's like move on, next. And then eventually I get tired and I don't look at it for several days. It's like that. But still, I think it's a joke. Influencers, if people are being influenced by the people who are influencers that I'm seeing,
I know.
I mean, now I understand how cults form, right? I mean, because they're just, it's just fun. Knock it off. It's stupid. It's all stupid to me. I just think it's stupid. So the idea of people understanding, maybe, look, how many friends do you have that were either in prison or have someone close to them that went to prison? How many would you say, percentage wise?
Oh, percentage wise, I'd say at least 5% of people I know.
Yeah. None for me that I'm aware of. Okay. They deny that I even went to prison, I think, by hanging around me or saying it. It's just like, oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I've had that. Yeah, I've had that.
And then the idea of transitioning out, I think that's helpful. People understood this idea of what happens when you do get out and the things that you're faced with, the pressures you're under, maybe they would understand better. The recidivism rate in the US is very, very high, very high. That's why you see guys, it's like a revolving door, in and out, in and out. People
But see, that's your story that I always tell people, I don't know how accurate it was. They made you flip burgers for a while, just, as part of the extra continual punishment before you can get a real job.
Yeah, but don't get me
So I want to talk about these things. And again, yes, I agree with you. That's the funny thing, Mike, is that I agree with you. Most of it's hogwash. It's all bullshit on social media, most of it. But guess what? The hashtag true crimes, what we're doing, the redemption of time, all this stuff, success. I mean, you're look, not only us two, but we have friends, mutual friends that we met along the way. They're actually doing great stuff, and I want to have them on the show too.
Yeah. All right.
Can I talk about who I want to have on the show?
No, don't.
Okay.
Don't. This has gone way too long, anyways. I'm getting restless. All right. So we can try. I give it 3 episodes before you say I can't work with you and you find a new partner. All right. But
Oh my God.
give it a try and see what happens. But understand very clearly that I am not into the Hollywood scene. I'm not a Hollywood guy. I'm not someone who's going to, ooh, this is great. We're going to go to clubs and all that. That's not me. I'm not saying it's bad that anybody else is that way. I'm just saying that's not me. I'm pretty much counterculture when it comes to culture in general. And so that's where I'm coming from. So when you're going to be talking about making movies or this, or that, or the other thing, I don't know anything about it. So that's on you. You want to talk about persons and people and things that have occurred, that's fine. But just as a close to this, just as we finish up here for a second, do you wonder, does it ever cross your mind why true crime is so interesting to people? You ever
Try
wonder?
to,
I mean,
I've tried to comprehend that.
do I watch true crime stories? No, no. I watched one or two and I went, that's not how prison works. That's not how this works. That's not how cops are. And but they're enthralled by this. So we're not serial killers that I know of. We're not Colombian drug lords that I know of.
Well, I work for him though. That's my aspect. But
Yeah,
go on.
I know. I worked with some people too, right? But the point is, you tell the truth about what it's like, people are going to get scared and run off. And so it's kind of becoming a glamorizing thing, you know, a thing. I'll tell you a story when I got out. First, early when I got out, I was telling everybody I was an ex-con because I didn't want them finding out on their own. Oh, I had no idea. So I'm telling everybody, right?
That happened to me in a
Yeah.
negative way.
And my wife's finally saying, hey, you're putting people off because they don't know whether you were, some really violent person or whether it was something else, So I've tamed it down. But I was attending a church, and it's hard to believe, but I was attending a church, and I got a phone call from a distraught lady saying, I know you were in prison. I was hoping you could help me. Can you help me? And I said, I don't know. I got in trouble with the law, and I'm not sure what to do. Do you know how to beat a speeding ticket?
My God. For real?
For real.
That's why you're telling me the story.
For real. Okay. That's true crime to some folks. I got a speeding ticket. I don't know what to do. So that's the kind of dumb stuff I've been asked. And it's like, really? Okay. You think I know I was in federal prison, lady. I didn't go there because I was speeding in a federal park. All right. Although I did time with a guy who did speed, got stuff like that. But
there was a guy that knocked down a signpost in a federal park.
Yeah.
And got thrown in there for a few months.
One of my first guys I shared a cell with was in for chopping off a guy's head in a federal park.
Oh.
Ask me how much time he got.
5 years?
7.
Oh my God. Compared to your 17?
Yeah, I'm thinking, don't talk to me anymore. Just don't. I wasn't going to say that because I don't get my head cut off because
Right.
Dude. All right. So look, we'll start. We'll try this. We'll do it. I got to go. I got things I got to do. Very important stuff. Very, very important.
What's more important than this, Mike? We're launching something. We're launching something, and it's going to be meaningful. I agree with you on most of your stuff, why you are the way you are, but you got something to say. So you're not going to be in this Hollywood aspect. I'm not going to make you and who you're not, and I'm not going to have this give this perception to our audience of what you're not. So the way I see this going, you're a talk show host. You're a radio talk guy. Interview me. Let me be the subject. Ask me the questions. Extrapolate all the things and help me get through this point, because I'm under a lot of frustration from perceptions, whether good or bad, from other people about what I do. Yeah. People are constantly judging me, whether good or bad. Yeah. And that's why I had this is what built up this don't give up attitude. I know I'm onto something good and great, not only for my benefit, but benefit for lots of others. And I need you in the co-pilot's chair to share that information. Why? What makes me tick? Yeah. Why am I viewed as, when you gave me that word, I owned it. I put it on. I wear it. The NOVATURIENT. Yeah. And what does that mean? Someone that is seeking a life-changing scenario in their behavior, action, and life. Right. So I'm looking for that life-changing scenario.
Right. Well, the word is a verb. All right. The word is a verb. I converted it to a noun by putting the in front of it. Right. So somebody's not going to like that, but I teach psychology.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Live with it. What are you going to do? So for the title of the show, and this is my last thing, I really got to go. The last thing, the title for the show, the Novaturients.
Ah, plural.
Ah, yes, plural. Good. Excellent. You recognize.
Okay.
Good.
Says the wise sage. Yes.
Yeah, that's me. That's why I got the white hair. What's left of it. All right.
Okay.
That's it. Okay.
All righty.
All right. We'll set up a schedule. Take care. Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye.